Is it performance review season for you and you're worried that all your hard work might not actually meet your boss's expectations? Hi, I'm Tim Yeo, and in these videos I'm going to be sharing some of these coaching stories to show you that you are not alone and there is something that you can do without pretending to be an extrovert. And in particular, this week, there have been a lot of people I've been talking to that are worried about performance reviews because this is the season they are going through performance review. And especially in mature teams, there are a lot of processes to go through. There's a lot of evidence that you need to collect. It is almost a second job on top of your usual day job. And despite all that work, you might not actually get the outcome that you want. And even though people have done their best, they are still worried that they might be in the bottom of the group and they are gonna get laid off. Now, I've been involved in performance reviews as a manager for several teams, and if it helps, I have the following advice for you. Number one, the first thing you have to realize about performance reviews is that it is a game. And I don't mean that in a negative way. More so, like a game, it has rules. And if you don't know what the rules are, then you won't be able to play the game well. And the first rule you have to know is that businesses, like in the law of society, they actually believe in the theory of a bell curve. So if you think about all of the people on your team, there are a group of people that are going to be at the top end of the curve that are exceeding expectations. And then a big group of people in the middle who are meeting expectations. And then a small number of people that are at the bottom that do not meet expectations or are below performance. That means that in any group of people, there's only a certain percentage of people that can be each of these groups, which means that the people that you are being compared against or who are your competitors, they are your peers. Not people outside of your company, the people that are within your teams. Now, I'm not suggesting that you should go and try and sabotage your colleagues and try and make them look bad. Instead, there are a few things here that you can try. Number one, you can define achievable goals. You might be ambitious, but when you're setting targets, make sure that they are achievable, not so far ahead that it will be impossible. At the same time, don't make them too easy to achieve because any good boss will be able to see through that. Number two, if you work on a team, you want to be able to define goals that you can control more of the outcome. People work in teams because they can't do everything and they need people from different skill sets in order to actually achieve and build and ship this one thing. However, there are certain pieces of work where you are going to be in a lot more control. You're going to be in the driver's seat to actually achieve these outcomes. You have a bigger say at steering the group. So when you're defining goals and you're thinking about what you want to accomplish, think about these two things. Number two, you want to be more visible. A lot of people have the misconception that their bosses, their direct line managers, actually have a very big say in their actual performance rating, their final rating. Every one of the people on the team is a single line on the spreadsheet. Once everyone's scores are actually in, they go and go through this normalization process. So the normalization process essentially levels people out onto that bell curve, which says there's only a certain percentage of people that need to be in the top tier, followed by the middle meets expectations, and then lastly the bottom pile. And chances are, especially when it comes to the final rating, these will be done by the people who are bosses. And by that level, if they do not know your name, you are simply another row in the spreadsheet. So the solution to this is to actually be more visible. If you're more visible, the people higher up in the organization are more likely to recognize your name. They would have seen some of the work that you have shown. If you do this, then people are more likely to recognize you, and if you've done good work that they believe in, then they're more likely to put you into the higher tier because you are a known entity to them. And the last thing is, if you're worried about layoffs, get yourself onto a sunrise project. Don't stay on a sunset project. A sunset project is a project that is a legacy that's going to be phased out. A sunrise project is going to be the future of the company, the things that you hear your bosses talking about all the time. If you feel like you're on sunset project, find ways to get out and get into sunrise projects. because sunrise projects are less likely to get their positions axed. Remember, while there are truly some aspects of performance reviews that are outside of your control, that doesn't mean that you can try some of the things I suggested to try and better your chances. I hope that was helpful. If this story resonated, leave a comment below and let me know what you think. And if you'd like to check out my coaching practice, you can search for Tim Yeo, the Quiet Achiever. That's all for this video. Bye for now.